Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning into a special edition of Steel City Sports World. Got my co-host, the Hall of Famer Claudio Rosado in the house with me. Also got our Smokin Jim talking to us on the phone. What's going on, fellas? How you feel, Claudio?
What's going on, man? With Jim?
All right, Jim, how you feel? Oh man, yeah, it's good. It's good to be on with you guys once again. But like we always do, we're going to start off with a little Steel City news. We're going to start with Claudio's Huddle Up. Claudio, what do you got for us today?
Everybody is on Matt Canada. Everybody tells him what he should be doing. Go deep, do this, do that. Don't do the jet sweep. But Mike Tomlin is the head coach. He's obviously okay with everything that's being done. I know if I'm the head coach and my offensive coordinator is calling plays that I don't like, I'm going to tell him to change it, revamp it, adjust, do something, or at halftime, make adjustments, and he has to do it. Tomlin's the big dog. Matt Canada's the assistant. Apparently, he's okay with what's going on. I do understand that the players, without question, have to execute. Period. End of story. But you also have to put them in position to succeed. Now, having said that, as I've said numerous times before, Canada cannot be that dumb. I don't think he is, nor is Tomlin. I think they just don't have the trust in the players, especially the greatest thing that's ever happened to Pittsburgh since the Bridges. What's his name? Kenny Pickett. They don't believe we can sit back there and fire shots to everybody. I do think a strength of Kenny Pickett is to roll out on the move and throw. So, again, you want to blame Canada, that's the easy way to do it. You also have to put something on Tomlin because he obviously is okay with what's going on. And if he's not okay with it, he should have changed it by now or made some sort of adjustments.
All right. Listen, we got a lot of guys in the chat already. We got Flawless Mentality. Salute to the guard, PGH Big Dog, my brother, Relevations. Damn. All right, we appreciate that. Make sure you go subscribe to him. Frank Jackson, salute, fellas. Salute, Frank. Terry French is in there. Too many open plays that were missed. Can't blame that on Matt Canada. That was all Kenny Pickett and Deontay Johnson playing poorly. All right. Hey, listen, we got Kelly. Is this the one and only Kelly Russell in the house?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, what's going on, Kelly? How you feel, man?
Oh man, I'm working as usual.
Oh man, hey man, we just glad you came in for a few minutes, man. We know you're working like a Jamaican out there. What's on your mind? What do you got for us?
Oh man, I was just listening in, but here's my thing, and this has been my thought on the Steelers, and it's been this way since 2017. Everybody's mad at Tomlin. I'll go back that after the embarrassing playoff loss to Jacksonville, he should have been fired. But I remember listening to Art the Second on the radio on the Fan, and I felt like I was listening to Bob Nutting. As far as I'm concerned, it comes down to this. Everybody can be mad at Tomlin. Everybody can be mad at the offensive court, Matt Canada. But you know who people really need to be mad about or mad at is Art the Second. You're the owner of this team, and right now this is embarrassing, but because Granddaddy did it this way and Dad did it this way, and this team has only had 3 coaches since 1960 whatever or whatever, that's the way we're going to do it. That's what it boils down to. You can be mad at Tomlin, you can be mad at Canada, start being mad at Art the Second. That's who people really need to be mad at.
Point.
Yeah, I knew you were going to come in here and go back to your 2017 Tomlin bash, and I knew it was coming, Kelly. I knew it was coming. Hey, Kel, real quick, do you have anything else you need to get off your chest? Because I know Smokin Jim is ready to come with some flame.
No, I'm good. Like I said, I'm here working. I got this report I'm working on. I was just, in all honesty, I was just going to listen in the background. I didn't think you would bring me on. But I appreciate the time.
We got to bring you on, Kelly, but I'll slide you back into the background.
I appreciate that. Claudio, good to see you, brother.
See you, Kelly, brother. Thank you for saying great point, too. Hope everybody's good. Hope the family is well.
All right. Thank you, same.
All right. We appreciate Kelly for coming on. Now we're about to really I got to put a disclaimer out. The words we're about to hear are Smokin Jims alone. They don't reflect my thinking or Claudio's or anybody else you're going to hear on the show. That being said, Smokin Jim, it's all yours.
Hey, thanks, Lou. If you're getting ready for work right now, you're probably not Josh McDaniels, Levi Wallace, or Dwight Howard. Listen, everybody, Lou, wanted me to get my top 10 Steeler defensive linemen of all time. These 10 guys are so great that not even the brotherly shove will work against them. Number 10, Hayward. I don't like Cam. He snuck out of Monroeville like a thief in the night, in the middle of the night. Never played for Gateway. I'll never forgive him for that. Number 9, me. 11. Number 9, 8. Brett Eastfield. 8, Seals. Number 8, A. Michaels. Number 7, B. Hampton. Number 7, A. Ken McGee. Number 6, he didn't hunt bear. He didn't hunt bison. He hunted police helicopters. Honey, Arrowhead home. Number 5, White. Mad Dog White. 4, Steve Greenwood. Number 3, I think he was better than Mad Dog White and LC Greenwood, is Aaron Smith. The first guy to ever get his jersey retired by the Steelers. The second was Joe Green. The third was, and last was Franco Harris. Ernie Stottner, 2B. Number 2A, one of the greatest of all time in any position. Mean Joe Green.
Ooh.
And the number 1 greatest defensive lineman in Steeler history is from Uniontown, Alabama. He never went to college. He went straight into the Marine Corps. He made the Pittsburgh Steelers legend team. He led the NFL in sacks 1 year. He was a pro wrestler for 2 years. He was a 5-time All-Pro. He was a 2-time NFL champion, which would be a Super Bowl champion. In the last game he played in the Pro Bowl, he was voted the most valuable lineman of all of that game. You know who I'm talking about, Lou? Claudio?
Big Daddy Lipscomb.
6, 310-pound Big Daddy Lipscomb. Good job, Claudio. That's the best Steeler defensive lineman of all time. Nobody can argue with that.
Oh man, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are upset. No Joe Green, number 1. Wow. Okay.
Number 2. Joe Green, number 2. That ain't bad.
Number 2 ain't bad. All right. Number 2's bad when you should be number 1. Hey, Terry French, he is exactly right. Art Rooney 2, who hired Matt Cannon, and Tomlin can't just go in and fire him. Jason Thomas, when Jim going to get his audio fixed? Oh, Jim, they on you already. Stop it. And Frank Jackson says, stop it. Joe Green is number 1. Listen, man, we got a great show for you guys. I want to give a couple things that I want to talk about. So this weekend, we were able to cover the city championship game once again, and Westinghouse dominated again. I mean, what can you say? They did their thing, man. Dominant, 42-14. I had the pleasure of handing off a trophy, the Jerron Grayson Trophy, to Ty Abrams, number 24, 117 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks on defense. Great player. It could have gone to a number of people. Glad that Ed Gady, the mayor, was also on hand to present the trophy and supporting City League sports. That was very good. And the Westinghouse is loaded again. We even ran into Miss Nora Parker Carter down there. She found her way down there, of course. So it was just great. And we, once again, these guys were just exciting. I think they can make another run in 2A to the state championship. Their defense is great. Their offense is getting better and better every week. So a lot of great things. Also, Amani, got to give credit to Amani Christian Academy. They're going to the playoffs after 4-6. They were 7-2 this year. Got to give a lot of credit to Coach Leroy Johnson, the coaching staff. You know, they came back 7-2. And Jim, Cludio, listen, they're hosting the first home playoff game in Wilkinsburg since 1966. This is history. I think that's the last time probably was when the AD Cliff Simmons was there. But a lot of talent on that team. They made some incredible plays. Just enjoyed covering them. And we're going to do that playoff game. Hopefully we can go live for that. But they had one run by one of our guys who's nominated for 2A Freshman of the Year, Gabe Jenkins. I wanted to run that play real quick, and then we're going to get into more Steelers talk. Let me run that play.
Why you turn me up, boy? What is focusing, buddy?
Hey, listen, man, I think they can go far, and there's a chance that they could possibly meet each other. Two of our favorite teams, Amani, Westinghouse from the city. If they both keep winning, they could meet each other for a chance to go to the state title, man. Jim, you're going to be at that game. I can't wait to see it. But both of those guys, you deserve credit. And, of course, UPrep, you know, first half they fought hard, but afterwards Westinghouse was just too strong, too much talent, defense causing plays. And then maybe the play that changed it all, it was a close game, you know, 8-6. And then they had a 90-yard kickoff return to start the second half, and it was over from there. But definitely enjoyed covering these guys. Listen, got to get you guys to weigh in on the Steelers. And make sure you continue with the comments and give us a call, too. I'm going to put up the number as well, 412-530-5063. Make sure you call, give us a holler. But Cludio, real quick now, I was wrong on the Jaguars game. I didn't expect all the injuries and everything. Let's do a quick recap. Let me let you go first. What were your thoughts on that recap as we discussed this?
But I thought the Steelers would come out of hand. And I don't want to hear about Pittsburgh because he didn't do anything anyway. It just doesn't seem like they have any rhythm. Harris didn't run as hard as he usually does. I just didn't see that Steeler enthusiasm, and not from the fans, but from the players. It was the same old. But I think they're a better team, but they didn't show it. When you allow a lesser team to you in the game, you're going to get bit. And but maybe we just have to really understand and realize that the talent level isn't what people thought it was. Maybe whoever's calling the shots, be it Tomlin or Khan or whoever, getting those players on the field is not doing a good job. And real quick, I do agree with Kelly. You have to blame what do I always say? The Italians say the fish sticks from the head. It starts with Rooney, the people who he brings into it. Whoever's running the show, he told them to run it. Okay, but again, the game, I just didn't see any motion. I didn't see anything. Got what they deserved. Although I did think Pittsburgh was going to win that game.
Okay. All right, Smokin Jim, your thoughts as we recap this.
Can you hear me a little?
We could hear you. We could hear you a little bit.
I was very disappointed in the Pittsburgh Steelers' character. Just like I got on Clarendon High School when they won 60 games in a row, shook hands after every victory. But when they lost in the state championship, they wanted to fight everybody. Pittsburgh Steelers lost to Jacksonville, Houston, and San Francisco. They should have lost to Cleveland, the Raiders, and the Ravens. They should have came in the game 0-6. They lose the game. Maybe they should have won. And the first thing, Deontay drops and says in the locker room, along with other players, they want to blame the officials. They want to cry and whine and blame the officials on a game that they should have won when they had the luck of the Irish on those other games. This is a poor team in the locker room, on the field. You're missing some very important pieces that you need to be a consistent winner. You got a quarterback that got a low tolerance for pain. You know, Kerry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger, they used to carry them off the field in the first half, and they played the second half. This guy got a bruised bone, a runny nose, a headache, and he can't play, but he can turn around and come Thursday. I would bench his butt on Thursday. I would play somebody else until this guy learns how to play, not only with a little pain, but hit a receiver that's wide open. And that's what I have to say.
Point about that receiver, wide open. Luther, I got to ask you a question, not to interrupt. Are you finally starting to get off of the Kenny Pickett train?
I was disappointed. You know, I thought he showed a little more progress. He does seem like he's a little brittle, and I thought he'd be more accurate. Listen, I'm going to give him a full 2 seasons, man. I mean, you guys want to throw him under the bus already. He's not progressing at the way I would have liked, but I'm still holding out hope. Still holding out hope. So we'll see. We got Sean and we got LD on the line. I think Sean popped up first. Let's get Sean in here and see what he has to say on the subject.
LD go first. I'll stay on hold. Let LD go on first.
Let's see. Let's see if we can pull up LD. LD.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for the call.
I'm enjoying the show, but a couple things. The Steelers should have scored on their first offensive play.
Yeah.
That set the tone. That receiver has to catch that ball. Do you guys agree with that?
You know, well, his name is Deontay Dropson for a reason. He dropped another one. But yeah, you would expect him to make it, man. And you know, he blamed the ref for that, I guess. But yeah, I agree. He got to catch that ball, LD. I was disappointed.
Something else, and no one talks about it, but that field was terrible. That's why we lost our best defensive back.
It's Acrisure Stadium. That thing hasn't been fixed. It was Heinz Field. Yeah, it's terrible. We're gonna be down there a couple weeks with the high school kids. Hopefully nobody tears an ACL on that field, man. They haven't gotten it fixed in a while, and you know, it's disgusting. I agree, LD.
But our best defensive back got hurt, and the game was still close. People got to remember that. And everyone's saying that Kenny's not any good. I believe if Kenny stays in that game, somehow we win that game.
Well, I know one thing. I don't think he throws 2 turnovers. I don't think he has 2 picks.
He might have
terrible picks like that right in the middle of the field, man. He just stares down receivers, throws in the double and triple coverage constantly. I'd rather see Mason Rudolph come in than Mitch Trubisky. I mean, it's horrible. And really, they should have kept Dobbs. Dobbs is better than both of those guys Josh Dobbs just got traded to, I think, Minnesota. He's better than Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. He would have been a better option as a backup.
I think he'd have been a better starter.
Oh, see, come on now. See, give him 2 seasons, Claudio.
That's a better arm, Hobb. Who can run better? Dobbs. You tell me. Is it my opinion or is it a fact?
Who has more swag? Who has more swag, Claudio?
Listen, Pickett, we know that.
Pickett has more game-winning drives. Listen, let's let the season play out. LD, what else you got for us?
On Sunday, when Jacksonville scored the winning touchdown, they threw the ball to a running back. The Steelers throw the ball to a running back, but it's only for 2 yards. Harris and Warren can catch the ball.
Excellent
point. Pass down the field sometimes. What do you guys think?
Excellent point, LD. I've been saying it. Again, Warren, yes, but Harris, and I'll repeat, forgive me for repeating. LD, I'm sure you remember Lawrence McCutcheon, number 30 from the LA Rams. He reminds me of Harris a little bit, except McCutcheon ran hard all the time for 5 years. But anyway, They used to throw him the ball out of the backfield 12, 13 yards a pop, and then he would yards after catch, right? This guy, 2 yards, 3 yards. I agree with you, LD.
Yeah,
And just one more thing. A couple games ago, they had a formation. They were on like the other team's 10-yard line, and they had Harris and Warren in the lineup. Warren was split out, and Harris was in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little diversification. That's not that tough. You have 2 chances to maybe get something going in your running game.
I agree. And sometimes Najee runs more like a fullback than a halfback anyway. So I definitely like to see those two in there together. Go ahead, Jim. Yeah.
Hey, I agree with LD. The NFL ought to look at that's an NFL field. It should drain a lot better than that. That little bit of rain should not have caused the problems on that field like it was Arsenal's field of 1950. Number 2, I said long time ago, I said this summer, I would trade Joey Porter Jr. for a 5th-round pick because he's going to cost you more games than he'll ever win for you. He had the running back man-to-man. What was he looking at? His dad, mom, and the stands? The running back ran right by him. And not only does that running back catch a lot of passes, he came in the game with 7 touchdown receiving, touchdown as a receiver. That was his 8th. He ran right past Joey Porter's face. Joey won't tackle. He can only play one position. Left cornerback and can't play that good. He refuses to learn right cornerback, the slot, safety, thing. So you got to get rid of Joey Porter. And like LD said, I got to correct LD. He said that Fitzpatrick was their best defensive back. He's their only defensive back.
Jim's crazy. Listen, man. Jim, you're way off about Joey Porter. I count at least 2 games he's won so far. The interception against the Raiders, against Odell Beckham, win. There was a play earlier where he stopped the 4th down completion, another win. So of course he's going to make some rookie mistakes, but no, he's definitely a keeper. He was the right pick. He was the right pick, but rookie's going to make a mistake. Stop all that, Jim. No, you're wrong.
Can I ask you and LD one question?
What?
This is the you and LD. LD, who would you rather have? Joey Porter Jr. or Jordan Addison, who's second in the NFL with 7 touchdown receptions, only to Tyreek Hill. And that's a guy that Kenny Pickett was begging for publicly, and they passed on him. That could have been the difference in the Pittsburgh Steelers winning and losing Jordan Addison.
George having an incredible year. But first of all, where you're wrong, Jim, they picked Broderick Jones with their first pick, not Joey Porter. Broderick Jones was their first pick. But listen, Jordan Addison's having a great start. I can't front. I thought he'd be good. I didn't know he'd be this good. Even without Justin Jefferson, he's still putting up numbers. So he looks like the real deal. LD?
Just before I agree with you, Luther. But before I go, tomorrow's game's very important. If the Steelers don't turn the ball over, I think they'll win tomorrow. I want to know what you guys think. Thanks a lot for taking my call.
All right, thanks a lot, LD. LD always with the calls. Appreciate that. Claudio, your thoughts? We'll bring up Sean back up here again. Go ahead, Claudio. What are your thoughts?
Tomorrow, they should win tomorrow, but I don't think they're going to. I really don't. I pick Tennessee tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I kind of think it's a must-win game. Rookie quarterback. Steelers usually feast on a rookie quarterback, even though he had an incredible game. 4 touchdowns last week. D. Hopkins looks like he loves having him back there because Will can actually throw, unlike Tannehill. He can throw the ball deep, and he was throwing it to him deep and often. We may have some problems stopping DeAndre Hopkins, but I still think we can beat Tennessee. Defensively, they have some issues. We should be able to score. Kenny Pickett's showing heart, Jim. He's coming back and he's playing. I got these guys we're pulling out. Hey, Sean, what's going on? Hey, Ralph,
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Sean.
What's going on, fellas?
All right. What's going on, Sean? How you feel?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Good. I'm seeing you on Stack over the weekend, City Championship.
Hey, you took some great pictures out there, man. I might have to start calling you Teeny Harrods.
Nah. I just tried my best. That was on the heat of the moment, so I wasn't expecting that. But it's always a pleasure, to help you guys out. Anything you guys need, I got y'all.
I appreciate that, man. What's on your mind?
One thing nobody's saying is that the Steelers' run defense isn't that good, and they do have Mr. Derrick Henry in the backfield tomorrow night.
Is he the same?
So, if Derrick Henry gets over 100 yards, I think Tennessee wins the game.
You think he's getting over 100 yards? It's not the same Derrick Henry, man. He got a lot of wear and tear on him.
Yeah, but the Steelers, their weakness is running up the middle. And sometimes you just got to kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. And one thing that I've seen with Tennessee, this quarterback likes to throw the ball deep.
Yeah.
So, way you set up to throw the ball deep, you got to run the ball. Unfortunately, the Steelers' defense hasn't stopped the run that good. As far as the Steelers are concerned, it's hard to go at them because – not hard to go at them, but it's like they don't make the plays when the plays are there to be made. Mm-hmm. First play of the game should have been a touchdown. It was wide open. Should have been a touchdown. And Deontay Johnson, you can't blame the refs. You can't do that. You're not going to get calls by calling out refs. You're not a star, let alone a superstar.
Exactly.
So you got to watch that. I'm glad the Steelers have given Joey Porter reign to start playing.
Yes.
My only thing with Joey Porter is, in my opinion, he likes to use his hands a lot. Mm-hmm. I think teams are going to start letting officials know that. So he's going to have to do more hit and run. Start running with the receivers instead of just hitting and holding, because he likes to. My opinion, he's a little too handy. I don't know who plays tomorrow quarterback.
Kenny Pickett said he could play.
Okay, I'm going to say this. The Steelers ain't got 400 yards since 2021-2020.
Terrible.
Something got to change. Like, I'm starting to go on the Kelly Russell bandwagon in regards to the head coach, but Kelly said something that was interesting. Even though Kelly said about 2017 the Steelers should have fired Tomlin, my issue with the Steelers during that time was you knew Le'Veon Bell wasn't coming back. Trade him and get something like the 76ers just did. Don't let no player sit out a year, then they go to another team. You don't get nothing until 3 years later. They should have traded him. They let Antonio Brown loose cannon too long. They should have got rid of them players earlier, and that's on management to do. Tomlin can only coach the players he got. Management pretty much control who the Steelers could trade and keep and sign. So that's my only take on that. I agree with Kelly, but during that time, I live in Columbus, so let's just say Le'Veon Bell's from up here. People up here knew Le'Veon wasn't signing that contract. Steelers should have told the NFL, look, he ain't signing this contract. Let him be able to go look for a contract for another team. We'll trade him immediately.
Wow.
So that was my take on that.
Sean, would you believe certain coaches in the NFL, like Belichick, and I'm sure there's a few other ones, Tomlin, that run the entire show? Nothing gets under them unless they put their stamp on it. Trades, free agents, everything.
It looks like Claudio.
Yes.
Repeat that again, Claudio. I'm sorry.
You picked out on it.
There's certain coaches in the league that run the entire show, that nothing gets by them without their stamp. Player transactions, free agency, drafts, coaching staff hires, everything. Belichick is probably one of them. I think Tomlin is the other. I don't think I don't want to say Rooney's lazy, but I don't know what Rooney does other than maybe just pay the write the checks. I think, in my opinion, and I don't know for sure, but my opinion, I'm guessing that Tomlin, nothing gets by him without his stamp. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree with that immensely. But I agree with that immensely. My only thing was I agree with what Kelly said in regards to maybe it was time to let Tomlin go. My only thing is during that time, two of your three key offensive players, Le'Veon wasn't going to sign that contract. Trade him immediately. Get something immediately. Don't wait. Look at what the Redskins did. They didn't trade both of their defensive ends. They let them both go.
Oh, they're a dumpster fire. You compared us to the Commanders. They're a dumpster
No,
fire.
what I'm saying is the Commanders are making a statement. Look, we're not going to win now. Let's get draft picks. The Commanders weren't signing Chase Young.
But
so what I'm saying is,
franchise like Commanders to do that. At the time, we still had a good team that we could compete. I mean, we made the
Luther, I'm up here in Columbus, Ohio. This is where Le'Veon Bell's from. People up here knew he wasn't signing that contract. I'm telling you. I agree with you, but only thing I'm saying is this: in the future, in my opinion, the NFL should not let no player sit out a year. If you're going to sign a contract, sign it. If not, you got to get traded. I think that hampered the Steelers. That's what I'm saying, because that's a body you didn't have for 3 years. Because he didn't play the 1 year. He left for nothing, and you had to wait a third year to get a draft pick for him. That's the only thing I'm saying with that.
In that situation, I agree. But the running backs at this point, they have to sit out. I mean, because the way they're getting done right now, look at Saquon Barkley. These guys, even Derrick Henry, he had to fight for his contract, and they hurried up and paid Ryan Tannehill. The Giants hurried up and paid, another bum, and Saquon Barkley has a 1-year deal. These guys have to do it. Look, Sean.
I'm here.
Okay, you left for a minute. But I think they have to do it. That's their only leverage right now. But Le'Veon Bell, I agree. He should have signed the deal. That was the beginning of the end. He went off. And an AB CTE issue started coming up, and it just exploded right from there. But we definitely got the one.
Can I speak about something I don't think it's been brought up yet?
Go ahead.
Okay. The Michigan assistant coach filming schools. All I'm going to say is this. Everybody cheats when it comes to stealing signs. It happens. If you look at the Oklahoma-Texas game, the first interception Ewers threw for Texas, the Oklahoma player jumped the gun. And this is going to lead to Clemson, what I'm about to say.
Okay.
The issue with the Michigan thing was the NCAA specifically has a rule. You cannot travel. If you work for a team, you can't go to one of your future opponents to scout them. They got a paper trail on this guy. It's sickening it's sickening. I'm like, he'd have been better off just going on the street and buying a ticket off a scalper. It's sickening. And there's some people trying to defend it. It's like, no, there's a paper trail. He worked for them. They said it's to the point they may have now got film on him when Michigan State played Central Michigan. He was on Central Michigan's sideline.
Well, yeah, I saw that too.
So what I'm getting at is that the NCAA, with their money, everything has to be in a headset. They got to take away from the sign stealing. And this is where I'm going to get out with Clemson. Brent Venables was the defensive coordinator when Clemson was winning all of them national titles. It was known in the college football circles, Brent Venables was one of the biggest people that knew how to steal offensive signals to work to his defensive advantage. Brent Venables ain't at Clemson. Look at him now.
Good point. That's a good point. Yeah. We
look at him now.
Yeah.
So,
and the question is, do you think something's really going to happen?
I think the NCAA, they're going to have to do something, and this is why I say they're going to have to do something.
Hey, Sean, do you remember the wrestler Ken Patera? He had a saying: "Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat."
Probably to have sex with recruits and some of the recruits' parents.
Mm.
That has nothing to do with on the court. Sorry. It happened, but it has nothing to do on the court. Now, what this Michigan guy's doing, like I said, every team they cheat trying to steal ties. But the NCAA has a rule. None of your employees can travel to another team's game. It was so bad. I was at the Ohio State game a couple weeks ago. This guy had a ticket for the Ohio State side and the Penn State side. Because they're Ohio State, they're Michigan opponents in November.
Yeah.
And Claudio, you're a college coach. You're a college baseball manager.
Yes, sir.
Jim wanted to jump in on this. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Sean, this is probably probably one of the most informative, powerful phone calls I think I've heard in the last 15 years on any station, man. Great job. First of all, I agree with you. I think it went over Luther's head when you said and not allow superstar players to leave your team without getting some kind of compensation. The Steelers knew I've been saying all along. I've said years before it happened that Les Miles wasn't going to re-sign with the Steelers because he said something to me on Championship Chase. I just never followed up. I knew he wasn't going to sign. And like he said, Antonio Brown should have been, traded away. You've got to get compensation for these guys. And what the Washington Redskins did today, or Commanders, that was excellent because they're getting value back for a guy that they could not sign, even if it was the third-round pick. People make the Hall of Fame from the third round. So I agree.
Listen, those guys. Listen, man. Yes, all right, they got some value for them, but when you start over time and time again, that's why they haven't done anything in 20 years. They're starting over and over again. You know what I mean? That's not a good formula for success, Jim and Sean. That's what I'm saying. We'll see what they do with it because you already know, Chase Young and Sweet, they're good players. You don't know these draft picks. Are they going to be good? We already know these guys are good. They traded him for a whole draft, Jim. Jim, don't even compare the two. They traded him for a whole Minnesota draft. There's no comparison, Jim. No, Jim, there's no comparison. Jim, listen, let me trade a player for somebody's whole draft. I guarantee I get starters. I get all mine and their draft. I know I'm going to have a team after that. That's why it's never been done before, Jim. You got to come better than that. Get out of here with that. Herschel Walker, a whole draft. No.
Washington's problem is not the players. It's hired Eric Bieniemy, who couldn't coach a way out of a wet.
Now, Jim, he had a rookie that had one of the highest rated ratings for the first 4 games, but he's a rookie. Sam, he was at North Carolina last year. No, he didn't. Okay, all right. Listen, he's a rookie starting. This is first year starting, Jim. Please. And he had him looking like a very good quarterback. They had some upset wins. Don't blame this on Bieniemy. Ron Rivera is a trash coach who should have been fired before this year. That's what should have happened. Well, that was I told you it was a bad move for Eric Bieniemy to leave Kansas City, and Kansas City misses him. How about saying that? Kansas City's offense has not looked great since he left either. They needed each other. So stop throwing slander on Eric Bieniemy, man. He picked a bad move. Well, Washington's offenses look better than they've looked in the last 5 years so far. So, Jim, you come with something better than that, man. I'm not blaming Eric Bieniemy for that.
Kansas City's only problem is that wide receiver from New Kent that can't catch.
Well, what about the other guys who aren't catching? He's too busy trying to throw the ball to Travis Kelce. No, you're not going to disrespect Sky Moore. Sky Moore's he scored a touch. Did he score a touchdown in the Super Bowl? He scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's having a rough go right now, but I think he'll pick it up, Jim. Hey man, but you brought up some good points, man. We'll see if they do it. Hey, but Jim, somebody caught you at Halloween, man, dressed up as a Black Panther, but they said Fat Panther. Is this you, Jim? Smokin Jim at Halloween. How you like his outfit, Cludio?
It looks good. It looks good.
Go ahead, man. Listen, man. A couple things we wanted to hit. And I did want to ask. First, got to give homage to LeBron James. 21 years in the league. You know, the same photographers took this picture, man. He's just doing incredible things, man. Instead of talking about him like Smokin Jim does, we got to appreciate. We've never seen a man dominate like this for 21 years. And right now he still has to lead the Lakers team, which is unfortunate. Anthony Davis should be the leader, but mentally, physically, he's not doing it. There's no reason that LeBron James is the reason why they win or lose at this age. He's 38, going on 39, has to play close to 40 minutes for him to win. Very disappointed in how the Lakers started. And now the Clippers, they got the man. They got James Harden. You know, only thing more happy than Clippers fans or the LA strippers out there in LA, man, as you can see on the screen. I don't know how it's going to work. There's only one ball. You got James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. I don't know how that's going to work. I give it to the owner, man. Ballmer, he spends money on his team. He's just putting a bunch of superstars together and seeing if it's going to work. I know they have to fill up that new arena next year. I don't think it's going to work. Sean, I did want to ask your question about James Harden. You think it's going to work with Harden, Kawhi, Russell?
I think the only way. I'm sorry, I'm back. Y'all got me?
I got you. We got you.
Okay, the only way it's going to work, Harden got to play as a point guard. Only way it's going to work, Harden has to be the point guard of the team. If he's not the point guard of the team, it's not going to work.
Where's Russell Westbrook going to play? He can't be a shooting guard. He can't shoot.
Well, Russell Westbrook's going to have to just be a wild card, junkyard dog, do everything. You know what? You know what's interesting about this?
Come off the bench. Harden should come off the bench because Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi have been playing great together.
Harden's yeah. Well, somebody's going to have to sacrifice.
Exactly. And who's going to sacrifice?
I don't know. That's the $1 million question. But here's the question.
Ty Lue has one of the toughest jobs in basketball. And, you know, he just brought in a guy who's quit on 3 teams, who's lazy on defense. You got Kawhi Leonard, your best player, who won't talk. You got Paul George. You know, he might be chasing with Harden in the strip club. Who knows what's going to happen? And then Russell Westbrook, it looked like he was finally getting comfortable again. But now you bring in Harden. And we saw in Houston, Harden and Westbrook didn't work. Why are you trying to get in LA? I don't know.
What I don't like about the trade, I'm going to say this, then I got to go. What I don't like about the trade is that the Clippers, you were the only team that wanted to get Harden. The Clippers gave up too much. They should have waited until the All-Star break if they wanted to make that trade. They gave up too much for this.
They gave the draft picks, and they gave up 4 old dudes that weren't playing, or 3 old dudes and 1 young guy. KJ Martin will play, but Covington, he wasn't getting a lot of minutes with LA anymore. Marcus Morris wasn't getting a lot of minutes anymore.
But Covington played in Philly. Philly didn't really want to let him go, but they had to. One final thing about it. Those big 4, their ages are 32, 33, 34, and 35. The Clippers pretty much don't have no first-round picks for the rest of the decade. They're opening up a new arena, I want to say, next fall. So I think Ballmer put all the chips to the table.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he has at least 2 main stars going into that arena. You know, I guess Kawhi, James Harden, Paul George, at least two of those guys will be there, and he's going to ride with those guys. But I wouldn't because they're too injury prone. I think it's a bad move, but I respect what he's doing. He's trying to make sure he has a winner or has a leader in there. So.
Can I say one final thing, one last thing, and this is for Claudio. Claudio, I looked at a stat. After my first birthday, I was running around in diapers. My first birthday, that's the last time the Pirates played in the World Series. I'm pretty sure the Pirates may have the longest streak without playing in the World Series. I want to say Baltimore is in the early 80s, and I want to say the Milwaukee Brewers is the early 80s. Out of those three teams, who do you see making a World Series first?
Baltimore. You're right. Baltimore won in '83. Milwaukee was in the World Series against St. Louis in 1982, and the Pirates, of course, last in '79.
Wow.
But say this though, Sean. Baseball is so mediocre. The Arizona Diamondbacks, I believe, only have 8 more wins than the Pirates. That's it. Okay.
What?
Baseball. Yeah, it's so mediocre that anything crazy can happen. The Pirates aren't going to do it, and I don't believe they will. But again, I go back to the mediocrity of the game, the MLB, the mediocre baseball league, MLB, I should say. So, but yeah, it was Philly in '83, Milwaukee in '82, and the Pirates in '79. But I think Baltimore will make it before either one of those two teams. It'll be Baltimore, Milwaukee. Pittsburgh is not even in the conversation. But again, baseball is so mediocre that anything can happen.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all next month. I got to get going.
All right, Sean. Appreciate you jumping on, man. Be safe out there. All right.
Okay.
Peace. All right, man. Sean with some great information, Claudio. Definitely enjoyed having him out there, man. But hey, Jim, we want to bring you back into this conversation real quick. You heard about Dwight Howard. He got a new endorsement deal.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to put it on the screen, man. Yeah, it said he signs a major endorsement deal with Ben Gay. So congrats, got to go out to Dwight Howard, man. Good job, man. He's going to be doing some commercials. So definitely appreciate that. Getting back to the topic, Jim. I know we're not going to be able to do Steelers pre-snap, but we still want to ask a couple questions. How about the Steelers O versus the Titans D? Who has the advantage, Smokin Jim?
Well, first of all, next time you talk to Sean, find out how I can get one of them LeVar Arrington scooters. You say the Steelers O against the Titans D?
Yes, sir.
I like the Titans D.
Why? I mean,
well, number one, they got a defensive coach in Mark Vrabel who got some legitimate Super Bowl wins. And I just like the way they play team defense.
Okay. All right. Claudio, Steelers O versus the Titans D.
Anybody's D against the Steelers O. You just mentioned a kid throwing for 4 touchdowns. When was the last time a Steeler quarterback threw for 4 touchdowns? Ben, I'm telling you, I am a little disappointed in Harris. He didn't seem to run as hard. I do like your point. He runs like a fullback, but last week he didn't seem like he did. I don't know if what's going on with him. Warren, everybody wants him to get 20-some carries a game. I think he's good the way he is. Sean Rodriguez, when he batted 300 times a year, he was okay. When he batted 320 times a year, he wasn't any good. And then John, all these guys dropping passes. Pickens is upset. They're not using the tight ends properly. Washington is a stud and a half. They're not using him. I don't like the Steelers' offensive play calling. I don't like the weapons anymore. I don't like the quarterback, obviously. I just don't think they will not score themselves. Forget about the defense. They will not score 24 points as an offense, in my opinion. And that's in this day and age, that's not good.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. We got a couple comments we have to get to as we get ready to wrap up. Ralph Williams, the NCAA does nothing. It's all about the money. Sean, rest in peace, Bobby Knight. Wow. I didn't know that. Jeez. Sean dropped some information. Oh, wow. All right. Terry French, Harris needs to take Bell's advice and drop 20 pounds. I agree. Frank Jackson said Najee is trash. Wow. Okay. Listen, man, I Steelers offense has been absolutely horrible. Titans D, they gave up some yards last week. Kenny Pickett is coming back off an injury, a rib injury. I like he's showing heart, unlike Jim, that he's playing after he got knocked out of the game last week. So I do like that. But I give a slight advantage to Titans D. The running game wasn't good last week. Najee's coming back from a rib injury. So I give a slight advantage to the Titans D. All right. How about the Steelers D versus the Titans O? Claudio.
John hit it on the head, the running game. Henry, and I'll tell you something else. I like that Spears kid. Okay, he's an explosive back. I like him. And they'll use Henry and Spears out of the backfield. I like Hopkins. I like the other receiver, Westbrook. I can't pronounce his last name, in Kahane or whatever. And they're tight end. Now, the new quarterback, he's just winging it. He knows there's money to be made, a position to be had. He's playing fearless. He's the riverboat gambler. He is the one playing with swag. His hands are bigger.
He has two bums playing in front of him. Tannehill, bum, and Malik Willis is not caught on either. You know, so like you said, he's throwing it out there. And the girl came back. The one he was at the draft party. I heard she came back in the picture after he threw those 4 touchdowns. Smokin Jim, what are your thoughts? Steelers D versus Titans O.
First of all, last year I had dinner with Dick LeBeau, and of course the Steelers ain't stopped the rookie quarterback since Dick LeBeau was defensive coordinator.
What rookie quarterback did something against them?
And Dick LeBeau told me last year that his best friend was Bobby Knight. They were roommates at Ohio State, and so we'll rest in peace, Bobby Knight. But I think we'll have to get the edge to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense over the Tennessee Titans offense.
Yeah, man. I wonder that kid that Bobby Knight choked. I wonder how he's doing. Hey, listen, Steelers D versus the Titans. So the Steelers D is going to make life hard for Will Levis. Yeah, he had those 4 touchdown bombs, but he didn't have a TJ Watt breathing down his neck or a Highsmith breathing down his neck. I think he's going to be gunslinging. You had 4 touchdowns last week. He might have 4 picks this week. I think we'll be able to do some things, and defense is going to have to create some turnovers for us to win this game. I think we can hold Henry. Last time we played him, one of my favorite linebackers, Robert Spillane, gave up his shoulder at the goal line to stop him. I'll never forget that play. I think we'll be able to hold Henry and Spears down. And D. Hopkins had his second 3-touchdown game of his career. I'm surprised he's only had 2 in his career, but he's long in the tooth. I think Joey Porter, I think even Levi Wallace, I think we'll be able to hold him in check and really harass Will. I give the advantage to us.
Hey, Lou.
Yes, sir.
The chance Hopkins won't play. Got hurt in practice Tuesday.
Man, these guys are getting hurt left and right. He's going to play. I think hopefully,
yeah.
Well, he's on one of my teams. I got to check that out. I think he will play though. But I need Warren to get a couple more carries, man. I think he's more explosive. We got to get him loose. And like you guys said, we got to use these guys out of the backfield a little bit more.
Washington, Luther and Jim. What about Washington? Why are they not using that guy?
Maybe they're not seeing it in practice, but Kenny doesn't throw to the tight end.
Can I say something? That is, I hate hearing that about practice. Okay, Allen Iverson. Don't get me started with practice. Okay, in Cleveland, I said it before. Give me the player who's good after the national anthem, not before. Okay, that is ridiculous. If Tomlin is doing that because he's not practicing well, now if he's a dog and if he's not trying, that's one thing. But if he's not maybe performing as well in practice and you're not starting him, that is ridiculous. That kid is a stud and a half. And
Claudio,
yes.
take it one step further. The Steelers got a bum on their team, number 87, Rodney Williams, that can't catch nothing. He couldn't catch nothing his whole career. He fights the
Why
ball.
you gotta be a bum?
Put him in the game. How do you put him in the game before Washington? Great point, Claudio. The Steelers, and Rodney Williams never could catch his whole career.
He looks big in that uniform, though, doesn't he? He looks huge in the uniform.
Real quick, if it can't be an attitude thing because he's blocking people. You don't hear him complaining. Nothing. Give that man a shot. He can run people over. He's a great athlete. I don't understand.
He didn't get the ball at Georgia either. Can he? I mean, how are his hands?
Why draft him?
Only thing I can figure, Claudio, I've never met a brain surgeon from Georgia.
What you trying to say? He's still learning the playbook? Come on.
That boy from the neck up, he's real strong, brother. Hands Herschel Walker.
Oh gosh. Hey, Terry Fritz is back in here. He says KP doesn't even throw the Fryer move. Yeah, Moo doesn't get a lot of passes right now, and he's still getting hurt every couple games. And real quick, as we get ready to wrap up, coaching advantage. Smokin Jim, we only got 2 minutes. Coaching advantage. Who and why? Who has it and why? Why?
This is a guy that I liked him at Ohio State. I liked him for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I liked him for the New England Patriots. I just like
he didn't do anything when he was here except be hurt. He was hurt every time he was here, and then he goes to New England. He's healthy and making play after play. Listen, coaching advantage. Listen, you have yet to pick Tomlin at any time, Smokin Jim. I'm giving advantage. I'm giving advantage to Tomlin, Mike Vrabel, solid coach, but the fact that he had Tannehill in there all that time and didn't bench him, he loses points for that. That guy's terrible. He should have had Will Levis in the game.
Players than Vrabel, but Tomlin's had better players than Vrabel. But who had the prettier girl at the prom, Vrabel or Tomlin? I don't know, Jim. That's you to answer that.
Joe would know. I say Tomlin's done very well.
Who has bigger hands?
I'd say that's Vrabel. Who has the coaching advantage, Claudio, as we get ready to wrap up? Real quick, we only got a minute.
Push.
Who?
It's a push.
It's a push. All right, you sounded like a politician, Claudio. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Man, all the callers. Make sure you go out and check out some high school football this weekend if you're in Pittsburgh. And hopefully you go to the Steelers. I'll be at that game. Hopefully can pull out a win. For Smokin Jim, for Claudio. Sean, thanks for jumping in. Kelly, LD, all you guys. If
LD.
you guys in the chat, we apologize. We'll check you out next time. Peace.